Okay, we here with Allia M, from the founder and proprietor of Always by Allia. So happy to have you here today.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so off camera we were talking about your purpose. We ended up talking about your purpose and what inspired Always. So can you share that with the audience, please?
Okay, so after graduating from COP with my associates in architecture, I had a lot of time to think because I was looking for a job for almost a year. And what I realized is that I'm very passionate about, and what my purpose is in life is to change the mentality of Bahamians in particular, to be more resourceful, like use what you have. Use what you have to make ends meet. And so back in 2012, I decided to use what I have, which is my associate's degree in architecture, and create a sustainable line of jewelry, which is recyclably inspired from sea glass, recycled paper, etc., and which is also architecturally inspired. So I get to use what I already know and what I went to school for.
All right. And as an entrepreneur, everyone would face some sort of difficulties and non-favorable results. So when you come across those results that don't always work in your favor, how do you deal with it? How do you get over that and keep progressing?
Okay, well, I come from a home where we were trained athletic, so I'm an athlete by heart. So I have developed that discipline. But I definitely say to always motivate yourself, whether you get a yes or a no, it's still something as opposed to nothing, and take away the criticism, because you could always benefit, you could always grow. It's always a process and it never ends. So just build on it, sit small, your time coming, and keep building. No, don't stop.
Yeah, that's true. And from what you've been telling me, the Always brand is always growing. So congratulations for that as well. Now the Ultimate Girl Boss Party. How was that spawned? Did it spawn out of Always? Or tell me about it.
Yeah, so the Ultimate Girl Boss Party happened when we celebrated 5 years last year. I wanted to do a big celebration for it because 5 years of mark. When I first started the business, my dad gave me a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad and How to Think and Grow Rich. And when I read those, I learned that it takes 5 to 10 years to grow any business. For a business to be successful, most businesses end after a year simply because people would give up. And so for me, it was a milestone. So what I wanted to do was focus on persons like myself, young female entrepreneurs, and encourage them to continue to go, just to celebrate them, to inspire them, and to push forward. I looked around and I noticed that no one else is doing that. No one else is empowering women. No one else is saying, hey, it takes a lot to be a woman. It takes a lot to be a girl boss. And I decided to have a pop-up marketplace for persons to present their products and services to the public, whether that's a new business or an existing business, to boost sales. And I wanted to do it at peak points in the year. So Mother's Day, of course, is around women, and so we do it every Mother's Day around that time, and every Christmas, because that's when the economy is booming. So that's that.
Okay, so can you quickly, for me, can you define girl boss?
What is a girl boss? So it is any female, that's first criteria. Yes, any female who has a passion or a hobby that in turn makes it into a lucrative business to create and generate profit. So you get revenue from your craft or skill or just reselling of different products. A girl boss is not just a business owner, but they are staples in the economy because they help the whole story of women empowerment and the rising up of women in history. And it kind of is an aid to me to be a girl boss, to break this glass ceiling effect. So that would be my definition.
Can you just go a little bit more in depth about the glass ceiling? So
the glass ceiling effect, from what I remember from college, is more like when men are held above, not to make it any sexist, but it is, and women could only go so far. And so because you're a female, you're in history, we have certain rules, right? The mothering rule, the cooking rule, etc., etc. And when the women now enter into the business or corporate environment, they're held back because of this rule. Well, okay, well, if you get pregnant, you have maternity leave, so you have to leave the office, so you're not as useful as a male would be in the office environment, and so you're discriminated against. When I say that girl bosses are staples, or basically are valuable to that initiative in breaking the glass ceiling effect, what I mean is that they have the power to redefine, because I might have a baby, I might have a child, I might be on maternity leave, but I'm still gonna have that drive to make ends meet, to make it work for me. I have no excuse at the end of the day. And if I can do it, any other female could do it. So that's what I mean when I say.
So to sum it all up, a girl boss is a female who doesn't leave any room for excuses in achieving their goals.
Exactly.
Sounds
you get
good.
it. Smart.
So, okay, so what would be, if you had one message to leave, to impart with the audience, with your target market, what would be that one thing that you want them to get from Always, from the products you push to Always, as well as the Ultimate Girl Boss Party?
Whew, that's a serious question. Okay. My one thing would be definitely trust God, because I was home and I didn't know where my future would be. I always wanted to be an architect from grade 9, and I just decided to swallow the pill that, hey, things aren't going to go my way. And just trust God. I definitely say have a mind of preparedness. Always be prepared to deal with life, because it will happen to you. Just try to turn all the negatives into positives. Think positively. Do what you have to. If you have to like blast Beyonce to get motivated in the morning, then girl, like blast Beyonce and get motivated in the morning. Try not to put down others, and try not to be put down by others. That's easier said than done. But always stay true to you. Remember that every decision you make it from who you want to be or where you're trying to go. Like, be passionate and true to yourself. Be passionate and true to yourself. And that kind of gives it full circle to being resourceful. You know what you could offer. So embrace that and make that work for you.
Very wise words. I like to hear that. So before we sign out, I know you have a lot of persons that assisted you on your journey that you might want to just shout out or acknowledge. So this is your time to do that before we leave.
That's a long list. First of all, I gotta thank my parents, because without you I would not be here. Daddy, thanks for the book. Thanks for the encouragement. Mommy, thanks for just always putting that challenge to me. I love you regardless. I also want to thank those parents and those angels and guardians that were there through my journey, who encouraged me. I've had strangers who I don't know just continue to push and encourage me from my start in 2012, all the government agencies. I also want to thank all the girl bosses. We just had 2 girl boss parties, and you guys came out on a limb, just, you know, believing in the dream, believing in women empowerment. And I just want to say thank you to all of my clients. Again, thank you. That's abroad and here locally. I would be here forever, calling names, but the University of Bahamas staff, for sure, y'all have been one of my biggest clienteles in my time of doing this, my 6 years. And just from being a college student and not getting a job and going back to college and doing marketing, it's just been amazing. The teachers, staff, everybody. So yeah, if I forgot you, I'm sorry. I love you and thank you.
Allia M, Dean, we signing out. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you.